what it is. It's your boy LB in Denmark doing another installment of 52 Block Stories. Now, when I started these 52 Block stories, I was just trying to get out some of the things that happened to me funny in my path and journey of bringing 52 to the world. But it's kind of grown legs and got its own life now, and people are sending me talking points, which is good, because I'm getting older and I can forget things. So it's good when y'all send me things to make into a story or to storeize or put into a story, because then it helps re-jog my old memory. Alrighty, so someone sent me 52 block stories. What is the origin of 52 blocks? Like, how did it come about? Why is it? Why do we move our hands and do all of this stuff that looks funny to you? And I thought that was a good thing. So 52 block stories, the origins of 52 blocks. Where did it come from? Now, every fighting style is cultural. Chinese have kung fu, Japanese, shogun warriors, samurai warriors. And with black community, we have 52. And which does that mean? We have the art of defense. If you look back at, if you look into black culture, with anything we do, this is not just fighting, this is anything we do, we have that flair of defense. When you think of the crossover in basketball, then you look at Allen Iverson, you see we take the crossover and make it something different. When you look at football, you'll see the same thing, the jigs, the moves, you'll see the same thing. We are a defensive people, so there is no surprise that our fighting system would be comprised of not being hit. That is our thing. We don't like to be hit. When I was younger and we had fights in the hood, if you got touched one time, you were considered the loser. And as extreme as that sounds, those are the things that made 52 blocks come about. Now you go back to Jack Johnson, who fought in the Chitlin circuit, which was 10 black men in the ring blindfolded. So if you're blindfolded, how are you fighting? You kind of touch your way in to kind of feel, and you're moving to try to block because you can't see. So you can start seeing some of these moves and things we did came off of pressure. Pressure is what makes good fight systems. Just like the Chinese, they were being attacked by the Manchurians, so they had to figure out empty hand fighting techniques on the fly because they're coming. They're invading us. We need stuff that works right now. We need to look at a crane, learn how to fight like the crane. Those are pressure situations, and that's what makes great fighting systems. No different from the 52. We are a culture of defense, and we prize not being hit. It goes into the arrogance, the boast, and the ego. You can see it, and even with Mayweather, that was part of it, that brings us, that creates the pressure that makes a good fighting system. So 52 blocks is a fighting system of defense, of not to be hit, how not to be hit, how to think in the fight. And all of this comes from our culture of trying to be slicker than, where you'll look at Mexican culture, they're not with that. They move right in, machismo, macho. That is the reason why Roberto Duran said no mas to Sugar Ray Leonard. Because Sugar started hitting him with that stuff, and he was like, that's not how men fight, right here. And when he couldn't, as he got agitated, he said no mas and threw away his career. Because they're used to machismo, man fight right here. What's all of that moving for? And there's nothing wrong with that. That is their culture. The same thing with 52. So when you think about disrespecting another man's fighting system, you're really disrespecting his culture. And that's why you should be more smarter than that and more humble to hear out a man's fighting system. Like in China, I don't know if you know this, but one of the most practiced forms is duck style. There's like 1 million people. And when you see them in unison, it looks amazing to see almost 2,000 people moving like ducks. But that is the top style out there. So are we to laugh at them because they're fighting like ducks? No, that's their culture. Their culture came from a need of trying to imitate something so they can go out and fight. That is real. That's gangster. You know, there's nothing more gangster than that. So we don't disrespect their culture. We don't disrespect their fighting system. So 52 blocks came out of a need to not be hit, because in black culture, we don't award being hit. That is not our thing, to be get hit with everything in the kitchen sink and get back up and keep fighting like Adrian, like Rocky Balboa. That is not our style. Our style is to make you miss, make you pay. So there's no wonder why our fighting system would be a system comprised of blocks, clever movements, head movements, and how not to be hit. So there you have it, 52 blocks. Hopefully I answered some questions. And no, Mother Dare did not create 52 blocks. You've heard stories of Mother Dare, but he is not the creator of 52 blocks. Who created 52 blocks? The community. There's not one person you can trace back. And I think that's what people want to try to do. But you can't really do that with any fighting system. You can't trace Kung Fu back to one person. As though you may want to, it can't be done. Because you would have to be very narrow-minded to believe other men weren't thinking about this. So, fight systems come from culture, and so you must respect a man's culture, you must respect his fighting system. There you have it, another installment of 52 Blocks.